Hello and welcome to the Southern View. The face-off in Parliament as opposition protests stall the Prime Minister's speech. That's our top focus this evening. Namaskaram. Namaskara. Baunnara. Nallarkingla Vasudha.
Welcome, Veera, and good evening to all our viewers. Unprecedented scenes in the Parliament today, Veera, as opposition women MPs protested and stalled the Prime Minister from addressing the House. They in fact geared his chair. We'll have special guests up ahead, but first up, the headlines.
Turkish airline plane makes an emergency landing at Kolkata airport after its right engine catches fire. The flight was en route to Istanbul from Kathmandu.
Karnataka Assembly rocked by alleged 6,000 crore excise scam. BJP JDS go overnight agitation inside the Assembly of Karnataka demands excise minister's resignation.
President's rule revoked in Manipur after a year. NDA leaders stake claim to form a government. Oath taking later today. Manipur president rule has been revoked. Well, breaking news that's coming in now, Vasudha. According to sources, the Prime Minister may speak in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the President's address.
Well, it's not yet decided whether the Prime Minister will speak in the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, Veera, but what we understand that he's expected to speak in the Parliament tomorrow, and this is after his speech was stalled by the opposition MPs protesting and disrupting parliamentary procedures today. Prime Minister Modi to speak on the President's address tomorrow in the Parliament is what we understand.
That's right. This is big breaking news that's coming in because we saw unprecedented scenes, Vasudha, play out in Parliament where the Prime Minister could not speak and the leader of opposition could not speak. So the big question perhaps, in terms of the budget session itself and the face-off that's been playing out in Parliament. So after those opposition women MPs, Vasudha, and you were there in Parliament, protested and ensured that the Prime Minister speech was stalled, we now are hearing, according to sources, that the Prime Minister may now give his speech in the Rajya Sabha instead.
That's right. Himanshu joins us with more on this. Himanshu, the Prime Minister was expected to speak today at 5 p.m. but ruckus followed. He did not even enter the House and then the speech got postponed and he's expected to speak tomorrow. Where is he expected to speak and what is the importance of the Prime Minister's speech, because clearly he has to reply to the motion of the President's address here?
In comparison to Lok Sabha, the debate in Rajya Sabha has been smooth so far. And in fact, many political leaders from the treasury benches, from the opposition, have actually participated in this debate. And they have raised questions about national security, about economy, about the growth prospects, and the other challenges that India faces today. And Prime Minister Modi, of course, is expected to respond to all these questions that have been raised by the opposition MPs during this long debate. As you know, 16 hours were allocated in Rajya Sabha for this debate. And so far, the debate has been smooth. There has been no ruckus. But now, what has happened in Lok Sabha today, very unprecedented, I would say, that neither the leader of opposition nor the Prime Minister could actually participate in the motion of thanks debate to the President's address. I think we'll have to wait for the tomorrow's 10 a.m. meeting of the opposition parties because there are fears that what Lok Sabha witnessed today, Congress may try and try and stall the fact that Prime Minister Modi should not be allowed to speak because Rahul Gandhi...
Important to also understand that in the Rajya Sabha there were proceedings today. Mallikarjun Kharge, leader of the opposition, the Rajya Sabha Congress leader, did speak and he in fact talked about foreign policy and he in fact also claimed that the India-US trade pact could be detrimental for farmers. So I think the Rajya Sabha would be also in some ways a safer space for this logjam to break, isn't it, Veera?
That's right. That could be one aspect of it. But then really about this session in Parliament, Himanshu and Vasudha, the question is if the leader of opposition cannot speak, The Prime Minister cannot speak. Who do we hold responsible? Should there be collective responsibility? Can we have such confrontation in Parliament where again suspensions lead the headline in terms of what next as far as the budget session is concerned? Let's not forget that there are important issues that need to be discussed. Now, how do we end that logjam is really perhaps the question before both sides.
That's right, Veera. In fact, let me also tell you what really happened today. As soon as the House resumed at 5 p.m. today, several women MPs from the opposition, including Varsha Gaikwad, who's an MP from Maharashtra, and Jyotimani, who's an MP from Tamil Nadu, both of them Congress party, stood near the Treasury benches, specifically right in front of the Prime Minister's seat, and they were holding a large banner that read, "Do what is right." As soon as the proceedings started, the Speaker, Sandhya Ray, who was in the chair, adjourned the House. At that point, the Prime Minister had not arrived in the House. Several ministers urged the opposition women MPs to return to their seats, after which they went back. The opposition alleges that the Prime Minister is scared and running away from debate.
That's right. Let's listen into the reactions that came in from Parliament. Of course, we'll head to our special guests and a special face-off this evening. But first, the reactions that came in earlier in the day.
5 बजे प्राइम मिनिस्टर खुद भाषण करने नहीं आए और हम वहां जाके दुबे जी को कह रहे थे दुबे इधर आओ, वो आए नहीं, वो भाग गए, आगे जाके कहीं छुप गए लोगों के अंदर। मेरा सिर्फ इतना ही कहना है कि जिस तरह से वो बात करते हैं, जिस तरह से नेहरू जी के बारे में, इंदिरा जी के बारे में बात करते हैं, ये सही नहीं है और उनको रोकना ये अध्यक्ष की जिम्मेदारी थी। जब नियम विरोधी पक्ष को है तो ये सत्ताधारी पक्ष को भी होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये लोकतंत्र की हत्या है अगर आप विरोधी पक्ष के लिए अलग नियम रखेंगे और सत्ताधारी पक्ष के लिए अलग नियम रखेंगे।
डर गए, आने से डर गए सदन में, और उनके रेल मंत्री और निशिकांत जी तो बुलेट ट्रेन की तरह भागे लड़कियों को देख के।
कई तरह का आरोप भी लगा रहे हैं। क्या लगा पीएम का आप आरोप लगा रहे, पीएम डर गए, किस बात से डर गए? जो राहुल जी ने चैलेंज किया था,
तो आप बताएंगे किस बात से डरे?
राहुल जी का और विपक्ष का केवल एक ही एजेंडा है, भारतीय लोकतंत्र को शर्मसार करो, सदन में कागज फाड़ो, स्पीकर पर फेंको और जो बाकी सांसद चुन के आए उनको जो बोलने का मौका है उसको छीन लो। क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी यही चाहती है कि सदन ना चले? क्या कांग्रेस यही चाहती है कि जनता के जुड़े हुए मुद्दे हम ना उठा सकें? क्या कांग्रेस यही चाहती है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी अपनी बात ना रख पाए? तो इससे पता चलता है एक परिवार और एक पार्टी का अहंकार सिर चढ़ के बोल रहा है।
Well, joining us now is Dr. Vishnu Prasad of the Congress Member of Parliament. Sir, thanks very much for speaking to us. How do you see this whole thing playing out in Parliament? Who is to be held responsible for it? LOP can't speak, the Prime Minister can't speak. Who should be held responsible? Should there be collective responsibility for this?
Sir, good evening. Parliament normally is called as the temple of democracy, where there is a dignified debates, public welfares are discussed. But unfortunately, in this parliament has become the puppet in the hands of Modi. The speaker, who is supposed to be the custodian of all of us, should be unbiased. But the behavior of the speaker was totally partisan. He was biased and one-sided. When our LOP wants to just discuss about the defense and security and integrity of the country, the word India, China, US are all bad words according to the speaker and the defense minister and the home minister. The moment he was referring to the book, they stopped him. The moment he was referring to the article which already came, he was stopped abruptly. He was suppressed totally by the opposition people, especially by the home minister and defense minister. Then our leader wants to narrate the instance. He didn't quote anything. He just wants to narrate what China and India went through.
Right.
But that was also stopped. People, they don't want this government.
So we get your point, Dr. Vishnu Prasad, that the LOP was not allowed to speak. Today, you were in the parliament, so was I, and there was also a meeting with the speaker. In fact, several MPs went to meet him. Can you tell us what really happened? Is there any assurance that has been given by the speaker to the protesting MPs?
See, actually what happened, when our leader was stopped, we kept quiet. We have to give 8 MPs being suspended. But today, the Nishikant Dubey, who is opposition MP, the ruling BJP MP, who showed 4 to 5 books, could see displaying the leaders' pictures, and also he was taking the names. So this is against the rule of 349(1), which they quoted yesterday. So we went and addressed this to the speaker, who is the custodian, because the chairperson was enjoying. The chairperson who was sitting there He was, sorry, 1 minute.
Yeah.
The chairperson who was sitting there, he was enjoying, the mic was on, there was no mute for him. They allowed for almost 10 minutes.
Okay.
Then abruptly, then they stopped the house. Then we went and addressed our problem. See, this is being totally unfair. Injustice is done. So we want this to be rectified. Course correction has to be done. So we appealed. All of us went and appealed to the speaker. Then speaker calmly said that, okay, we'll examine. Then finally he came and said that he has conveyed to the government. I don't know what the speaker has to take a call in this.
No, what do you believe is going to be now the way forward? Do you see this being the dominant feature? Tomorrow we believe that, according to sources, the Prime Minister will now make his speech in the Rajya Sabha. What do you believe is going to happen for the rest of the session? Is this face-off, which started off with quoting of General Narvane's book, excerpts from his book, going to dominate the rest of the budget session?
Sir, it was only on the reply for one member's remark on patriotism. We didn't take, our leader was categorically saying that he was not intentionally saying this, quoting this, but he was just responding to it. What is going to happen tomorrow or in the future entirely depends on the government and the speaker. We are very clear, we want justice. The speaker has to be unbiased and he has to be neutral. Why one rule for them and another rule for us?
But Mr. Prasad, my question to you is, the country is also hoping to understand how the trade deal worked out. What are the ramifications going to be for the agricultural sector? There's so much business at stake here. It's a budget session, probably the most important session of the parliament. The opposition is also being accused of stalling very important parliamentary disruptions. How will you respond to those accusations?
No, I only would like to say, see, agriculture is important, industries are important, employment is important, price rise, diesel, everything, all are important. We want to discuss badly. But the point is, security is of utmost importance for our country.
Okay.
But when that is not being allowed, why this government is suppressing the facts? Then is that something really happened very badly and drastically that is going to affect our future? That is the question. And when the parliament itself, we cannot act as per the rules, then what will happen to the nation?
All right,
Is this democracy or a king or a Hitler rule?
All right, you seem to be bracing for a long-drawn confrontation on this issue. Is it about scoring political points? Is it about rules being used to muzzle the voice of the opposition? Several questions that have been raised in this entire confrontation on both sides. But thanks very much, Dr. Vishnu Prasad, for joining us here on the Southern View this evening. Vasudha, the face-off with the Prime Minister and the opposition MPs is the culmination, in a sense, isn't it, of a fierce face-off that's been playing out, including that acrimonious exchange, 1 in the morning during the protests by suspended Congress MPs at Makardwar.
That's right, Veera. In fact, it was supposed to be a banter, but then it became a flashpoint between the Congress party and the BJP. As leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi joined the sit-in of suspended MPs. Union Minister of State Ravneet Singh Bittu entered the complex. Rahul Gandhi pointed towards Bittu and he said, and I quote, "Here comes the traitor, look at his face," before extending his hand and adding, "My traitor friend." Now, Bittu had shifted from the Congress to the BJP just ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. He is the grandson of Beyan Singh, former Chief Minister of Punjab, who was assassinated by a suicide bomber. Bittu refused the handshake and he chose to walk away, calling protesting MPs enemies of the country or Desh ke dushman. Now, Congress MPs have also told me that it was Bittu who sort of instigated them yesterday by passing certain comments. Now, we don't know what really happened, but this incident has now turned into a huge political controversy with BJP MP and MOS Ravneet Singh Bittu hitting back at LOP, saying that he is calling a martyr's son a traitor and even accusing the Congress of killing Sikhs. Listen in to the reactions.
The thing is, here is a traitor walking right by. Take a look at your face. That's what it looks like. Hello, brother.
सर थोड़ा आप
Don't worry, you'll come back.
ये हमेशा ही गांधी साहब, गांधी फैमिली ये सिखों की कातिल रही है। अब बात वहां की है, पगड़ी देख के यही प्रॉब्लम अंदर भी थी। ये मुझे कह के देखो कितनी गलत फहमियां भी, मैं कितना बड़ा राजकुमार हूं, गांधी फैमिली, मैं बुरा भला कह के भी मैं हाथ आगे करूंगा और मुझसे हाथ मिलाएगा। मैंने कहा राहुल जी आप देश के दुश्मन हैं, फौज के दुश्मन हैं, यही बात अंदर कर रहे हो, और सिखों के तो दुश्मन आप हैं ही। मेरे सिर पे भी पगड़ी बंधी है, मैं सरदार हूं एक, आप क्या हाथ आगे करेंगे मैं हाथ मिला लूंगा, और ये कहने लगे तू मेरे पास ही आएगा।
मैं मानता हूं कि राहुल जी ऑनरेबल लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन, ही इज अपसेट कि बिट्टू जी उनकी पार्टी में थे और उनकी पार्टी को छोड़ दे। बट तो ये कहना है कि अच्छा भाई, मैं समझ सकता हूं कि अगर आपको इस पर नाराजगी एक्सप्रेस करनी है तो कहिए, अरे माय फ्रेंड, माय लॉन्ग लॉस्ट फ्रेंड, उसने ये भी बोला यू विल कम बैक। अरे एक तरह से उसको बोला है ट्रेटर, ट्रेटर यू विल कम बैक। अरे मेरे भाई, अगर ट्रेटर है, तुम्हारे और भी कई दोस्त यार होंगे, मित्र होंगे जो ट्रेटर होंगे, बट देन व्हाई डू यू वांट हिम टू कम बैक इफ इज अ ट्रेटर? नो, इट्स अ माइंडसेट।
जिस तरह की एक सिख मंत्री के प्रति राहुल गांधी जी ने टिप्पणी करी, सरदार रवनीत सिंह बिट्टू जी को गद्दार कहना, ये इस सबसे पहले तो मैं इसकी कड़े शब्दों में निंदा करता हूं। ऐसी घटिया मानसिकता को, जिस मानसिकता के चलते हमेशा ये सिखों को इस तरह के लेबल लगाते रहे हैं, कभी ये सिखों को आतंकी बताते रहे हैं, कभी सिखों को इन्होंने देश के साथ बांटने वाला बताया। मैं बताना चाहता हूं, भारत का सिख सरदार है और भारत के साथ गद्दारी करने वाला ये राहुल गांधी परिवार है।
Well, we're joined by RP Singh from the BJP and Chitra Badam, Congress spokesperson. Thank you both of you for being part of this broadcast. Chitra Badam, clearly an avoidable comment. Rahul Gandhi is speaking to an MOS. He's speaking in a public platform. Clearly the choice of words could have been different, isn't it?
Well, I think whatever Rahul ji has stated is the truth and is the fact. So he doesn't have to mince his words, for such people. So I think that's besides the point. The point today was the Prime Minister was supposed to come and address
why would you call him a traitor? He's a grandson of Beyan Singh. This is a family that has sacrificed a lot for the state. And even if you speak about politically being intuitive, Punjab elections are coming up next year. This is a community that's done a lot for the country. Why would you say that to a Sikh minister?
Well, as I said, Rahul ji has clearly mentioned the truth about how Ravneet Singh Bittu has dealt with Congress in the past and the manner in which he has left the party. So obviously, it's the fact, and there is no harm in stating the fact. Why he should feel bad about it?
Okay, you're saying why should feel bad about it? RP Singh, are you all making a...
You should accept the truth. But that's what I'm saying. The real point is not about Ravneet Singh Bittu. The real point is about national security. The drama that the entire country is witnessing for the past 2 days, and the Prime Minister and the Speaker of the House, most prominently...
let's get RP Singh to respond to you. RP Singh, respond to Chitra.
Not allowing the leader of opposition to speak in the House.
It's your... RP Singh, respond.
Our national security is at...
Well, I heard Chitra.
Go ahead.
Well, I heard Chitra and patiently heard Chitra. I'll appreciate that she should hear what I'm going to say now. First, they are talking about that Rahul Gandhi is not allowed to speak. Parliament runs by the norm, by the rule book. It's not that my way or highway. I am the dentist, so I'll decide what I have to speak, what I have not to speak. Well, you have all the right. This is a long session. You can speak during the session. But this was regarding presidential address. You were supposed to speak on the presidential address, but you didn't do that. You picked up some magazine, something published in a magazine, and then you were saying that, oh, this is being said by the Army General. Well, which is again the same Army General has on record has said that not an inch of land has been occupied by China. I mean, that's what the same Army General Rana Sahab has said. But they don't believe in what he has said. But unpublished book mentioned in a magazine which has a lot of question on the credential of the magazine itself. Remember that the same magazine raised a question on that army is trying to do atrocities. Sorry, is doing atrocities in Kashmir.
RP Singh, the question that's been raised as far as the parliamentary debate is concerned is that did the government overreach itself Did the Treasury benches overreach itself and ensure that the LOP didn't get to speak itself then by yielding to the kind of confrontation we have seen today?
Yeah.
Let him say what he wants to say. The government could have just responded.
Okay, let's talk about America, let's talk about Germany, let's talk about what's happening in Germany today. Is that the debate about today? No. Let's talk about what's happening in the politics.
But your members also pick up national security when they want to pick it up. What's wrong?
Can I complete, please?
Yes.
Vasudha, can I?
Please finish, sir.
Please stop doing this. I never interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Raise your question, let me answer that, then you raise another question, I'll answer that also.
Go ahead.
So, debate is conducted as per the rule decided by the channel and subject which has been decided beforehand. Similarly, Parliament runs on the subject which is decided and discussed beforehand. And if you have to raise up some questions, there are protocols for that. You can't overrule that protocol because you are the dynast, you think. Secondly, coming to the issue of Ravneet Singh Bittu, he said use word traitor. Traitor means that you are a traitor to the country. And who's talking about being a traitor? Party which has butchered 3,000 Sikhs in Delhi, a party whose leader went abroad and said Sikhon ko kada, Sikhs are not allowed to wear turban, Sikhs are not allowed to wear the basic tents which they are allowed to do. So, and they are not allowed to go to Gurdwara. Is that the party who's talking about traitor, talking about Ravneet Singh Bittu a traitor? Now you will say, because Ravneet Singh Bittu has left the party, there are many more leaders who have left the party like Anil Anthony, Javed Shergill, Shehzad Punewala, Radhika Khera, Tom Wadikan. PC Chaku has joined NCP.
Okay, point noted, Mr. Singh. Let me get in Chitra Batam here. Chitra Batam, he's making an important point here.
For them.
Today we also saw opposition MPs reacting very strongly to Nishikant Dubey's speech, and they felt that, the rules are not equal for everybody. But when RP Singh says that it is all protocol based and you have to follow rules, and it's Rahul Gandhi who's violating not just the rules but also speaking on topics that's not part of agenda, how would you respond? Chitra Batam.
Was that directed to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Chitra.
So that's what I'm saying. We are not here to do any kind of show or an event management, and which is why for us national security is at the highest priority, and which is why it is important for the nation to know as to why the defense minister or the prime minister does not even return the calls when our boundaries are at stake.
But the point is that everyone has mentioned that you are purely trying to take one excerpt, quote it out of context to politicize it. It's purely a case of political scoring of points when the book is not yet out.
That is what I'm saying. But is the government speaking the truth? Is the government speaking facts? No, they're lying tooth and nail about it. And which is why the Prime Minister is scared and he's compromised. And which is why he's not coming to the Lok Sabha or to the Parliament.
Okay, Vasudha, really the big question before either side, and you can take this to RP Singh and Mr. Singh, you can respond to it. Is like,
can I make a rebuttal, please?
Are we going to see this confrontation dominate the rest of the budget session?
Mr. Singh, my question to you also is, because I've covered the parliament for a few years, why are there no back channel talks? This used to happen in the BJP and Congress, right? If you feel that Rahul Gandhi is not speaking as per agenda, just get back channel talks on and, resolve the logjam, right? Because at the end of the day, it's also incumbent upon the government to ensure that parliament runs. Mr. Singh.
Well, back channel talk will happen with a person who believes in the rule of the parliament. If you don't want to go by the norms laid by the parliamentary procedures, then how can you discuss about anything with the same person? But coming to that book, it's an unpublished thing published in a magazine which has a lot of questions on the magazine itself. But let's talk about the published thing. General J.J. Singh, former general, in his book, A Soldier General, has categorically mentioned that there was a political pressure on him to give away Saichil. Let's talk about that. And then who are the people who have put political pressure? It was Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh, that government. So, if you have to discuss the book which has been published, where it is on record.
Respond to that, Chitra Batam, respond to that.
So, if you want to really talk about, then you must talk about how the Congress government or Indira Gandhi ji had split Pakistan into two. Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you appreciate that?
The point is that everyone seems to be able to talk in television studios, but neither the leader of opposition nor the Prime Minister have been allowed to speak in parliament. It reached itself to an unprecedented situation, but we hope that that logjam will be resolved at some point of time. But thanks to the two of you for facing off here, Vasudha. But I think there are bigger issues that are at stake that need to be answered.
Absolutely. But now to the SIR showdown, Veera, unfolding in Bengal, which Mamata Banerjee, she wore a lawyer's hat today and she became part of proceedings in the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court had issued a notice to the Election Commission of India in response to Mamata Banerjee's plea challenging the SIR process in the state. The ECI has been asked to file its reply by the 10th of February. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has sharply criticized the Election Commission during the Supreme Court hearing over SIR process. In fact, she called it a WhatsApp commission.
We have everything on WhatsApp, from WhatsApp universities now to WhatsApp commission allegations there. Vasudha, Mamata Banerjee attacked the Election Commission with several charges in the Supreme Court. She said Bengal was being targeted by the Election Commission and that the SIR was meant to quote-unquote bulldoze the people of Bengal. She alleged that the Commission was responsible for mass deletions of voter names. The question really is that, is she just scoring a political point with this confrontation? Has she been left alone as far as the Election Commission and the battle against the SIR is concerned, Vasudha, unlike what we saw in Bihar, where there was a united INDIA campaign launch against the SIR process? So what next? We'll focus that with a special face-off, but first the reactions this earlier in the day.
कल हमारे पार्टी के चेयरपर्सन बोले हैं, आप देखेंगे सब कुछ मैं मीडिया के सामने जाहिर नहीं कर सकता. अगर इंटरनल स्ट्रेटजी सब आपको पब्लिकली बता दिया, जस्ट बिकॉज आई वांट टू बी इन द लाइमलाइट, दिस इज नॉट हाउ वी एक्ट और हाउ वी ऑपरेट. जब जो होगा आप देखेंगे.
Few points have been argued and the Honorable Court observed that if required, more time will be given to her to argue her matters. And one observation is important, that the Honorable Court has said to Mamata Banerjee that two important points have been taken in the petition itself that's needed to be considered and decided. The Mamata Banerjee has argued the points. Number one, only the deletion process is going on, no inclusion process has been taken up for long 4 months. Number two, there is no power to appoint micro observer and the role observer.
जब माननीय मुख्यमंत्री ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट से गुहार लगाई कि मैं 5 मिनट बोलूंगा, उन्हें परमिशन दिया गया, लेकिन ममता बनर्जी उस 5 मिनट में पूरा पॉलिटिकल भाषण ममता बनर्जी ने दिया. इसके कारण जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑब्जर्वेशन है या स्टेटमेंट है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बताया कि आपका जो एडवोकेट है वो बहुत एफिशिएंट एडवोकेट है, हम उनकी बात ही सुनेंगे. ये स्टेटमेंट है सुप्रीम कोर्ट का. देखिए, इससे खराब शब्दों में एक मुख्यमंत्री को सुप्रीम कोर्ट ये नहीं बोल सकता कि आप चुप रहिए, आप ज्यादा मुंह मत खोलिए.
We're joined by Priyanka Tebriwal, who's a spokesperson of the BJP in West Bengal. We have Tausifur Rahman, who's a TMC spokesperson. Thank you both of you for being part of this broadcast. Priyanka, to you first. As a woman, yesterday when I was part of the interaction that Mamata Banerjee had with reporters, there is a sense that she's trying to create the 2021 moment where she's, Banglar Gorbo, Banglar Mein. She's trying to create that thing, not just in West Bengal, but in Delhi as well. And there will always be a section of people who will feel that this is a woman who's standing up for the state. How are you going to counter that image? Because politics is so much about emotions.
Hi, very good evening. You see, now when you are speaking about, trying to make this image or trying to create this image, people of Bengal are very smart and literate. And they have an elephant memory too. Now, these kind of theatrics or drama would have no impact on them. And I tell you why. Because they exactly remember that why did Mamata Banerjee tore certain papers and threw at the face of the speaker, while mentioning that we do not want infiltrators, Rohingyas should be out. We need the cleansing of the voter list. And that was in 2005. Now, exactly this is the pain which she is having now, which she didn't have then. Because those infiltrators were then the voters of CPM, who are now the voters of Trinamool. Now, exactly today when she went to the court, you see, we have all seen, no court could have dealt with the chief minister in such a polished way, the way Supreme Court dealt with her. And they told her that, you have an advocate and let him argue. But even then, see, I believe, and I firmly believe, that each and every citizen of the country has a right. And they can use their right while going to the court. They can, whether it is a normal person or whether it is a chief minister.
Okay.
She went to the court of law. But she went to the court of law without any evidence in hand.
So, Tausifur Rahman, the allegation is that the case is one purely for political optics, because what we saw, for instance, in Bihar with all the INDIA allies and all the opposition parties rallying on SIR, right now there is a situation where other opposition ruled states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala don't seem to be raising this issue as strongly as the TMC is. Is this then purely to fuel the optics of a state versus central battle to fit your election narrative?
Good evening to all. Well, first of all, let me start is this a personal agenda of Mamata Banerjee? Or is it a personal agenda of Trinamool Congress? We are talking about 10 crore people staying in Bengal, sir. So, and when the people are talking about drama, tragedy and theatrical acts, so let me begin like this, कि आज तुम्हारे पास गाड़ी है, बंगला है, शान शौकत है, सब कुछ है. मेरे पास क्या है? मेरे पास संविधान है. So this is how we work. It's all about constitutional fight. So where are we wrong? The Supreme Court issued notice to the Election Commission in SIR matter. A significant victory vindicating Mamata Banerjee's constitutional fight and proving that her concerns about systematic voter deletion were legitimate. Tell us we are wrong.
The question then is, why is MK Stalin not marching to the
What
Election
victory?
Commission? Why is Akhilesh Yadav not doing the same?
Of course.
Ma'am, absolutely.
Mr. Rahman.
If please do not interrupt. Please, I heard you all. So if someone is not marching, if someone is not jogging, if someone is not running for its own constitutional right, is that our fault? We are very much bothered about 10 crore people. We cannot do this monkey business in Bengal. We will not allow that. The Supreme Court told the Election Commission, tell your officers to be little sensible. Who said this? Not Mamata Banerjee.
Let's
But the honorable
Priyanka
judge.
respond to
No,
that. Priyanka,
that wasn't said.
they are worried about the
Exposing
10
that he
crore
rushed
people of West Bengal who he says are being targeted.
SIR in Bengal
Now,
has been
I
insensitive,
want to ask
inhuman and
Such
procedurally
worried is the
flawed.
chief minister. We didn't see this worry when the Arjikar incident took place. Mamata Banerjee didn't wear the gown and the robe that time. We didn't see her wearing the gown and the robe when 26,000 jobs were lost, when people lost their jobs. We didn't see anything happen in Sandesh Kali. She didn't wear her gown and a robe then. But today, when infiltrators are being caught and their names are being struck off, she is, in a stress position, very tense, and she wore the gown and went to the Supreme Court. See, not just that. Supreme Court clearly mentioned few things today, which anybody who's smart would understand. Supreme Court said that each and every state is different. So when Mamata Banerjee was mentioning Aadhaar cards, that why you are not allowing the domicile certificate, why you are not allowing the Aadhaar card, yes, because each and every state is different. Here in Bengal, TMC party offices, so many fake voter cards have been found.
Right.
So
Like
many
this
fake Aadhaar cards have been
narrative,
found.
these claims
You
of
said an issue
fake
domicile
voter ID cards,
That
Tausif,
is
has
why it
been...
is not being allowed.
Yeah, Mr. Rahman, that is something that gets talked about in the context of Bengal quite a lot, which also shows that the allegations that the TMC is dependent on the votes of Bangladeshi infiltrators also gets amplified. How are you going to counter this? Because the BJP will then talk about infiltration again and again in your state.
We can counter them inside the court, outside the court, up in the sky, on the grounds, no problem at all.
Tausif seems
So
to be
this
ready with all the
let me complete,
one-liners
sir.
today.
Let me complete. Let me complete.
Go ahead.
These incompetent election officers and election commission provided all the documents. Is that you sitting on NDTV provided those Aadhaar card and voter ID? No, not you, not me, sir. This has come from Election Commission. The Supreme Court observed that the micro observers may not be needed. Let me complete. Directly questioning the ECI's decision to deploy 294 external micro observers only in Bengal to supervise the process, proving that Bengal has been unfairly targeted. Now you jump like a popcorn. Not a problem.
Why were the micro observers appointed? That's one question that
your tears.
is raising
That's
again
all
and
right.
again.
We will
provide a
fight
list
and
of
we will
officers.
hammer you
Supreme Court
360
said
days.
that Mamata
Where is Dilip
used
Ghosh?
to give the list. That is
Where
what
is
Mamata
Dilip
Banerjee
Ghosh?
asked.
Where is LOP?
Give a list.
Why
Come
they
on,
couldn't see
do
the
not
tears
try.
of Bengal?
No.
Why they couldn't see the tears of 10 crore people crying on the street because of this incompetent Amit Kumar?
Okay.
Next hearing,
name him Amit Kumar. He's got a
everything would be
It's
clear. The victory which you are trying to, enjoy today on Monday,
Congratulations.
Today they are saying that we have so much of confidence in the judiciary, but
All right.
on Monday if anything goes against them, they will lose all the confidence.
All right, it's a
Then
high
they will
decibel
not-
exchange.
they will not
It's a high decibel exchange, one that's playing out in the apex court as well as will play out in the electoral fields of Bengal. Thanks very much to the two of you for facing off here on Southern View this evening.
Bharat Mata ki jai.
But there is much, much more that needs to be focused as far as this whole issue is concerned, Vasudha. It will be one of those crucial high voltage exchanges, the battle for Bengal.
Absolutely, and equally important for the BJP and also for the TMC. But moving on to more stories from the south of India, this time from the state of Andhra Pradesh, Veera. A violent face-off is afoot in Andhra Pradesh after YSRCP leader Jogi Ramesh's house was vandalized on Monday. Now, Jagan Mohan Reddy, former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, has approached National Human Rights Commission against a series of attacks on YSRCP leaders, blaming the TDP, the ruling government, for this violence and claiming that anarchy is prevailing in the state under Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu. Of course, TDP has rebutted this and said that investigation is underway. A YSRCP delegation, in fact, met NHRC officials today and they have filed a formal complaint against this violence that's taking place in the state.
Remember, violent and bitter exchanges has been the feature in this TDP versus YSRCP battle in Andhra Pradesh, sort of defining of that personal rivalry that once one had seen in a state like Tamil Nadu between powerful personalities, but it has virtually dominated this TDP versus YSRCP battle in Andhra. Earlier, YSRCP leader Ambati Rambabu was arrested for derogatory remarks against Chief Minister Naidu, which was followed by attacks on Rambabu's residence and then violence at Jogi Ramesh's home. The TDP has condemned the remarks made by YSRCP leaders against Chandrababu Naidu. Let's listen in to that high voltage exchange in Andhra Pradesh.
Promised of Super 6 and Super 7 came to power, and now the entirety is a lie. And now if somebody were to question him on Super 6 and Super 7, the social media activists for questioning him are put behind bars. And you know what cases? Ganjai cases, narcotic cases, destroying their careers. Currently this is happening in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Is it not Jungle Raj? Every institution in the state has gone for a toss.
So we request that our cadre and our leaders should remain restrained. They should maintain peace, law and order, peace, because the YCP leaders are trying to instigate troubles by using this abusive language, and we say that they should not fall in the traps of the YCP leader.
The violence has become a disturbing political, social reality in Andhra Pradesh, Vasudha, and it's one that needs very, perhaps, deep reflection. The kind of statements that's made on both sides can be quite acrimonious at times.
Absolutely, and why should common people bear the brunt of political violence? That's a question that all of us need to think about, Veera. With that, it's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.
आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा, अपार ने आईएनएस विक्रांत के लिए 150 से ज्यादा तरह के केबल्स बनाए हैं। देश के टॉर्पीडोज में भी हैं अपार के केबल्स। वंदे भारत भी अपार के केबल से ही स्पीड पकड़ती है और यही वायर्स और केबल्स हमारे घरों को भी पावर करते हैं। विश्वास इसमें अपार, तभी तो ये है देश का तार।
मेड इन इंडिया क्यों नहीं? हमारे पास क्या है? मस्टर्ड ऑयल। इट इज आवर फ्लैगशिप ऑयल।
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं। इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से।
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में। पी मार्क, द मस्टर्ड स्पेशलिस्ट सिंस 1933।
बरसों से सरसों।
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा! और क्यों होए?
There is no bigger battle in 2026
Nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamata's fortress?
टीएमसी जावे, बीजेपी आसमे.
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
বিজেপি ডাবল ইঞ্জিন সরকার এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে.
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
NDTV 24/7, total domination in Davos. The world's biggest voices first. Iconic visionary Bill Gates. World Bank President Ajay Banga. IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva. IBM CEO and President Arvind Krishna. India's AI Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. NDTV is India's voice in the world. First interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister. First interview with Andhra Chief Minister. First interview with Assam Chief Minister. India's first ground event in Davos. NDTV puts India on the global stage. Davos, domination, no debate.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions.
Expert advice. The latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told.
Welcome back. A disturbing incident has emerged from Ghaziabad where three minor sisters allegedly jumped to their death from the 9th floor of their apartment building early Wednesday morning. The girls, Veera, were just 16, 14 and 12 years old. Allegedly, they left behind a note for their parents apologizing and referring to what they called a true life story. Police say that forensic analysis is underway and family members' statements are also being recorded.
Really tragic, very, very disturbing indeed. Vasudha, a disturbing text was also found in the room of the girls with the walls reading, I'm quoting, "I'm very, very alone." Sources indicate that the room was locked from inside. Multiple questions that have been raised. The loud noise alerted residents and security, but by the time the family broke open the door, the girls had already fallen from that balcony. Investigators say the sisters were inseparable and had reportedly become addicted to an online task-based game during the pandemic. The family had recently restricted access to that app but couldn't avert that tragedy.
क्या कुछ लिखा हुआ था सुसाइड नोट में? इसमें लिखा था पापा सॉरी, हम कोरिया नहीं छोड़ सकते, कोरिया हमारी जिंदगी है, कोरिया हमारी जान है और आप हमें नहीं छोड़ा सकते, आई एम सॉरी, हम जान दे रहे हैं बस। और सुसाइड नोट मैंने अभी देखा जस्ट उनके पास पुलिस वालों के पास। बच्ची यहाँ जो थी वो किस समय उन्होंने ये घटना हुई, क्या कुछ कहेंगे? सब बहुत बुरा हुआ, ऐसे किसी बच्चे के साथ ना मैं कहूँगा सब बच्चे अपने गेम खेलना छोड़े, सब कोई भी माँ अपने बच्चे को गेम ना खेलने दे बस। गेम में कब कौन सा टास्क हो जाता है ये नहीं पता लगता, हमें खुद नहीं पता लगा जी।
सर जो ये आत्महत्या हुई है अभी तक की जांच में क्या कुछ निकला है सर?
देखिए अभी तक की जांच में यही निकल के आया है कि तीनों लड़कियों के द्वारा 2 बजे खिड़की से कूद के आत्महत्या की गई है। फादर से बात हुई, उनके द्वारा कुछ जो भी सुसाइड और सुसाइड नोट है क्या है उसके बारे में जानकारी की जा रही है। जो भी जानकारी है उसके बारे में आपको
कोरियन लवर गेम के बारे में जानकारी मिली है। ये क्या बच्चियाँ कब से आदी थी इस गेम की, इसके बारे में क्या देखिए?
इसके बारे में अभी डिटेल बातचीत अभी की जा रही है। उनके परिवार से बात करके अभी हमारे पास जो रिटन डॉक्यूमेंट उनका मिला है।
An unfortunate incident has come to light from Ghaziabad. Right now, we are at the very spot where this tragedy has taken place. I would like to move a little bit forward and show you the visual from ground zero. Here you can see this is the very spot where 3 sisters, one age group 12 years, second one 14 years, and third one 16 years, basically jumped from the 9th floor of this very building. Here you can see this is the window pane which is open right now, and from that very 9th floor, all the 3 sisters jumped one by one, and here you can see this is the ground zero. This is the spot where they have jumped. So right now the DCP arrived over here, and right now when we have spoken to him, he has said that an FIR has formally been lodged in connection with the case and further investigation is underway. And the police team is suspecting that all the 3 sisters were in the influence of a gaming app, and due to this very addiction of that gaming app, they have taken this extreme step. So what was the actual motive and who basically motivated them to take this extreme step? This is yet to be ascertained by the DCP and the Ghaziabad police team. So on that direction, we will have to wait for the official confirmation from the Ghaziabad police team. With video journalist Arun Akil for NDTV 24/7.
Leave those graphic details aside, Vasudha. I think this is again another tragedy that brings to fore the importance of addressing mental health issues with children and teens at an early stage. Obviously, this is not something that happens in a spur of the moment. Online addiction, multiple questions that are at play here. One needs to address this at a societal and a personal level. Mimamsa Singh Tanwar, clinical psychologist of the Fortis National Mental Health Program, joins us live. So is A.K. Jain, former Director General of Police in Uttar Pradesh. Mimamsa, when you see an incident of this nature, what's your first thoughts? And what's perhaps the first thing we should do as a society?
I think it's alarming the way we are seeing young people getting more and more disconnected with their environment around, spending more and more time on screen, online. And there is this lack of awareness that still surrounds us when it comes to mental health. It's important that we recognize what are some of these signs that we can see in young people so that we can identify it at an early age that something is off. It's not okay. It's not what a child at this age should be doing. And some of these signs which I want to really mention over here is, and specifically since we are looking at online gaming addiction over here, when we see children are increasingly isolating themselves, when we see that there are changes in their mood, irritability is happening, they are increasingly withdrawing from family, from friends. There is a need to also withdraw or avoid going to school. There is sleep disturbances which are happening, eating disturbances that are happening, and an overall behavioral change that you see, which is not merely like a normal teenage thing that we can define anymore. We need to know about these signs a lot more. And as parents, as school educators, we need to engage a little more beyond academics in a child's life in today's time.
Absolutely. Mr. Jain, the bill that the government brought out against online promotion of online gaming had a specific phrase called misdirectional advertising. Why are so many of our young adults and children, why do they get access to free downloads of these games so easily? Is there no check on that? Have you seen a rise in addiction and obsessive gaming? And how does the police, address cases like this?
Police is unable to do anything. Police can't do anything unless and until drastic steps are taken in this direction. Earlier, there was blue whale. Because of that, there was a suicide. Now, in these Korean app, and I'm told that direction was given to die, and that's why all the three of them jumped one by one. So there has been a social media ban in Australia. It has been enforced in Spain. I think it's a right time that it should be enforced in our country also, because children are addicted. These girls, I am told, they were not going to school for the last 2-3 years.
Right.
They were just locked, and I think parents are also responsible. It's a very disturbed family. It's a very, very disturbed family. Father is said to be under very heavy debt. And mothers of all the three girls, I am told, they have left the house, and he is staying with another woman. So naturally, there is no one to look after the girls. They were highly addicted, and it draws our attention to adolescent mental health also, parental supervision, online influences, and pressure young people are facing silently, struggling with
absolutely
at home.
I think you've really put the whole issue in perspective. There are multiple issues here, but the one point that we can actually address, Dr. Mamata and Mr. A.K. Jain, is the point that you just mentioned, that there can be severe restrictions on social media consumption for, at least on paper, even if it's very difficult to enforce that in reality, for children and underage teens, and even for adults. Yep. There can be legal restrictions.
Yes.
I think along with that, what we also need, along with the restrictions, is media literacy skills. Because unless we don't know how to filter and handle what we are consuming, putting a restriction and ban is only one aspect of it. We also need to understand the other aspect of it, because it's still accessible. Till the time a ban happens, till the time any other accessibility is, gadgets is all around us. The pervasive presence of gadgets around us and the pervasive presence of the content that any child, adult that consumes in today's time, it's difficult to just merely look at the restriction part. That's one part of the problem.
Life
the
is
other
possible
part of the
without
problem.
this. That's the point you're trying to make. Life is possible without the cell phone.
It is, and it's become an extension of our body.
That's right.
We always are carrying this in our hand in every space that we are going. And if that is so, then we also need to know what are the right skills to be able to learn on how to navigate what we should consume, how much we should consume. Filtering needs to happen for young people. Monitoring needs to happen. Supervision needs to happen.
I think monitoring,
even when there are gaming.
Closing remarks from you. When it comes to this particular case, it looks like these girls got addicted to this game during COVID. Have you also seen cases like this during pandemic? Life was so different. It was, it was all very precarious. Do you see cases emerging from COVID, something that have had implications even now?
Oh yes, you will see many such cases. Parents, they don't have time for the children, and children, they are busy with their mobiles, with the gaming apps. I had never heard about this Korean love game app. So, and not going to school for 2 to 3 years. Right. Just you see the language which they have written. So China has done it. China has shown the way. Right. Now the children are engaged there in studies and extracurricular activities, and they play games.
I know it's a very it's a very important point that you're making. I just wish we had a little more time, but unfortunately we're running out of time. But I think this is a deep concern for every parent, every member of the society, your neighbors, anyone. I think the red flags go up early, and if you pick those up, several of these cases can be averted, Vasudha. But thanks very much, Mr. A.K. Jain and Mamata, for joining us this evening.
And like Mimamsa and Mr. Jain were also pointing out, more than ban, Veera, I think there's a need for literacy to start from schools to media to even police agencies to understand the evolving society better.
That's right. That's all we have time for on the Southern View this evening. News and updates continue right here on NDTV. Thanks for watching.
आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा, अपार ने INS विक्रांत के लिए 150 से ज्यादा तरह के केबल्स बनाए हैं। देश के टॉर्पीडोस में भी हैं अपार के केबल्स। वंदे भारत भी अपार के केबल से ही स्पीड पकड़ती है और यही वायर्स और केबल्स हमारे घरों को भी पावर करते हैं। विश्वास इसमें अपार, तभी तो ये है देश का तार।
मेड इन इंडिया क्यों नहीं? हमारे पास क्या है? मस्टर्ड ऑयल। इट इज आवर फ्लैगशिप ऑयल।
और हमें गर्व है कि 1933 से हम पी मार्क कच्ची घानी मस्टर्ड ऑयल का उत्पादन कर रहे हैं। इस मूल्यवान स्वदेशी प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में हमने खुद को समर्पित किया है पीढ़ियों से।
माँ भी हमेशा पी मार्क मस्टर्ड ऑयल में ही खाना बनाती थी।
कुछ तो बात है इस दिल में। पी मार्क, द मस्टर्ड स्पेशलिस्ट सिंस 1933।
बरसों से सरसों।
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Master Stroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
M3M presents NDTV Master Stroke Art Awards. An odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
I have always had this inclination towards art, and if we don't collaborate and bring those artists forward, give them a platform, who else will?
Honoring the masters who define our cultural landscape, M3M presents NDTV Master Stroke Art Awards on the NDTV network.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
इनको यहाँ से जाना ही होगा।
जय मां दुर्गा! आज क्यों रोए?
There is no bigger battle in 2026. And nobody has reported Bengal like I have. Buckle up for an unforgettable election thriller. Will the BJP breach Mamata's fortress?
TMC जावे, BJP आसपे।
Can Didi fight off her life's biggest challenge?
BJP double engine সরকার এই লড়াই বাঁচতে হবে।
Battleground Bengal with Manogya Loiwal.
NDTV 24/7, total domination in Davos. The world's biggest voices first. Iconic visionary Bill Gates. World Bank President Ajay Banga. IMF Chief Kristalina Georgieva. IBM CEO and President Arvind Krishna. India's AI Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. NDTV is India's voice in the world. First interview with Maharashtra Chief Minister. First interview with Andhra Chief Minister. First interview with Assam Chief Minister. India's first ground event in Davos. NDTV puts India on the global stage. Davos, domination, no debate.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
Expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive.
Good evening and welcome to India Matters on Wednesday night. I'm Shiv Arur. Let's get you as always straight to the top headlines at 8 p.m. Unprecedented escalation in the Lok Sabha. The House adjourned just before the Prime Minister's speech as opposition women MPs surround the Prime Minister's chair right before his arrival in the House to deliver his speech. Massive uproar over Rahul Gandhi's Gaddar jibe on Union Minister Ravneet Singh Bittu. Rahul calls Bittu my traitor friend. Bittu hits back with Desh ke Dushman, enemy of the state. BJP and Sikh group stage protests against Rahul Gandhi. A chilling Delhi NCR triple suicide. Was it gaming addiction or something more sinister that killed 3 minor girls in the Delhi suburb of Ghaziabad? The girls were allegedly addicted to a Korean gaming app, but many more disturbing details have muddied the waters. They jumped off the 9th floor one by one. The suicide note says, "Sorry, Mama, Papa." But is there more to it than meets the eye? NDTV is investigating. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata turns up at the Supreme Court to argue against the Election Commission's SIR exercise. The top court has issued notice to the poll body on Mamata's plea. Didi says EC is targeting West Bengal, asks why no SIR in Assam, which is also going to the election. A massive 20-kilometer-long jam on the Mumbai-Pune expressway after a gas tanker has overturned. Look at these pictures. It's been 20 hours. Vehicles are stranded on the expressway without food, water, or toilet facilities. This is how